2018 Buick Regal TourX car review. The good points of 2018 Buick Regal TourX: spacious, strong brakes, sophisticated AWD system. The bad points of 2018 Buick Regal TourX: sleepy throttle and transmission, neither luxurious nor off-roadable, goofy exterior cladding. Buick's latest vehicle for social justice is thus this off-roady looking all-wheel drive station wagon that wishes it were a Subaru Outback. It's not. The Regal TourX recently 5.8 inches of ground clearance, in contrast to the Subaru's 8.7, so General Motors used a good amount of tough-looking black cladding. And so you can't miss it, this plastic also extends high on top of the wheel wells, looking as pretentious around the TourX mainly because it does within the similarly dressed Audi A4 Allroad or Volvo V60 Cross Country. Buick reps examine the Audi being a competitor. Apart from the compact A4 is virtually 10 inches shorter and also a whole class smaller compared to the mid-size, 196.3-inch Regal wagon. The Audi is also considerably more expensive, using a snowbap peel inflated starting price inside the mid-$40,000 range in comparison to just $29,995 for your Buick. The single TourX model at that psychologically satisfying, sub-$30,000 price has cloth seats and is also available in any color you would like as long because its white, silver and black are extra cost options. Opting for your mid-range preferred trim to secure a power driver's seat plus an actual color palette sends the MSRP into the mid-$30,000s, and if you would like a top-of-the-line Essence, with leather and available advanced safety equipment for example lane keeping assist and automated emergency braking, the cost is better $40,000. But a $29,995 ante does put Buick at just the point about the value map in order to attract mainstream buyers, which gets for the roots of Buick's underserved gambit. Wagons woe. Buick reps spun us bullcrap of woe, describing the plight of station wagon owners whose manufacturers have abandoned the segment. For insufficient a proper replacement, these poor folk have thus been compelled to hold on to their old cars a lot longer than they needed to. We're imagining people descending for their Buick dealers who currently drive mid-90s vintage Honda Accord wagons with hopelessly rusted rear wheel arches and Toyota Camry wagons through the same era with rear suspensions which have collapsed, probably in the weight of this extra rear wiper. Perhaps trade-ins would come with even a few Saab Sport Combis or Chevrolet Malibu Maxxes also. We're unsure we take up this any longer than we make a scenario through which Buick steals customers from Audi. Yet the larger point remains to be valid. The Regal TourX sits squarely between traditional European luxury wagons, for instance the Allroad, along with the aforementioned and even more affordable Outback, which opens at merely $26,810. The TourX is powered by GM's familiar turbocharged 2.0-liter inline-4, a motor-room fire that appears in numerous GM products, such as current Malibu. The Malibu shares its architecture using the Europe-market Opel Insignia, which can be the basis with the TourX as well as the new Regal Sportback. Here the Turbo 4 makes 250 horsepower and 295 lb-ft of torque, fed by using an 8-speed automatic transmission which might be manually shifted. On paper, this powertrain combination looks great, far outpacing Subaru's anemic naturally aspirated 2.5-liter 4 and in many cases comparing favorably to its available 6-cylinder model, which in this is a near $40,000 proposition. And of course, each the Outback's engines are saddled which has a continuously variable automatic transmission. In real life, however, the TourX feels sluggish, using a sleepy throttle calibration that really needs pushing past mid-pedal stroke to get up the turbocharger. Combine this having a transmission that shifts languidly, preferring to be a high gear and lug the engine, and it's simple to grasp why this iron-sourced gearbox is Awachi slated for replacement with an unspecified future date using a developed 9-speed unit. Buick built the same move from the LaCrosse sedan this season. The TourX and LaCrosse have other similarities, including firm and responsive brake pedals as well as a sophisticated all-wheel drive system, and that is standard for the wagon. Buick uses 2 electronically controlled clutches in the rear, an arrangement that permits a single rear wheel with traction to go the vehicle even when the other 3 wheels are spinning. This is particularly useful for icy conditions and is also in keeping together with the character on the TourX, during which all-wheel drive is meant more for conquering inclement weather than off-road trails. Our experience for the drive event in Sedona, Arizona, showed its soft suspension was that can deal with gravel roads at least also as, say, a Toyota Camry. We mentioned the Camry not since it has the same ground clearance as being the TourX, and not as it's the best-selling car within the United States, but since it represents what's perhaps the greatest challenge to Buick. Most mainstream brands offer all that near luxury or premium ones do. Long-distance comfort. The interior on the TourX is really a nice enough place, roomy and quiet and mostly pleasant save with the cramped middle rear seat. The front seats feel like Saab leftovers, comfortable yet firm and ideal for that sorts of long highway slogs the TourX seems most suitable for. Its dash is topped using a 7.0 or 8.0-inch touchscreen, with plastic meant to look like leather or at the very least less hard plastic and trimmed with requisite fake wood and shiny bits. Yet the TourX cabin is not truly any nicer than that of a higher-suit Camry, even just in our test car, which has been a fully loaded Essence trim. At over $40,000, this wagon still had its cargo area lined using the sort of inexpensive carpet that may be more appropriate for any rental car trunk, as well as beige hue didn't prevent it from being easily dirtied through the first load of suitcases we stowed. Still, the wagon's cargo hold is the place the TourX best acquits itself. It is distributed differently compared with an Outback, with 33 cubic feet behind the corner seats 3 cubic feet lower than the Subaru or 74 cubic feet with those seats folded 1 cubic foot greater than the Outback. The folding seats, split 6040 inside base and preferred trims but 402,040 from the Essence, lay almost perfectly flat, making it easier to load large items. For the MTB or kayaking crowd that doesn't have to have the Outback's ground clearance, the reduced height of your roof-mounted rack will be as much a selling point as being the TourX's available hands-free power liftgate. For those who need a bigger wagon rather than crossover to cart their life's desires or detritus, the TourX is usually a welcome option along with a reminder that sometimes it's okay for sporty to spell it out what you want to do that has a car, as opposed to the car itself. The question that only next year's sales numbers can respond is whether there can be a market for this almost luxury, almost off-road station wagon in an almost affordable price. If our example of Sedona were to solely inform our answer, we'd must respond from the affirmative. That place is swarming with both mountain bikers and old people driving slowly. The Regal TourX seems created to appeal to both. Buick, because of its part, Awachi is revising its sales estimates upward for your TourX.